Good afternoon and welcome to today's live coverage from the Van Eupen Arena for today's match between City of Liverpool and Marine. The Mariners come into this one off the back of a 4-1 win over Kendal Town after a string of poor form. The City of Liverpool currently sitting mid-table as they continue their playoff push. Kick off in around 4 minutes time, so I'll just read out the team sheets. Starting with Marine. In goal, number 1, Aidan Dolan, making his third appearance for the club. Number 2, Ben Hughes. Number 3, the captain for today, James Barragan. Number 4, Mark Howarth. Number 5, making his first start for the Mariners, is Joseph White. Number 6, Dean Winnard. Number 7, Owen Watkinson. Number 8, returning from injury, is Alex Doyle. Number 9, Lewis Riley. Number 10, back in the team today, is Stephen Irwin. And number 11, Marine's top goal scorer, is Neil Kenji. On the bench is Josh Solomon-Davis, Bailey Passant returns to the squad, George Newell, Niall Cummins and Ryan Wignall. So a very attack-minded defence with Newell, Cummins and Wignall all there. And for City of Liverpool, started in goal, number 1, Oliver Martin. Number 2, Zach Ailey. Number 3, Jack Walls. Number 4, Ryan Schofield. Number 5, Jack Hinnigan. Number 6, the captain, Glenn Rule. Number 7, James Edgar. Number 8, Elliot Johnson. Number 9, Josh Qualas. Number 10, the top goal scorer for City of Liverpool, is Jack Hazelhurst. Number 11, Michael J. Monaghan. And on the bench for the purposes, James Murphy, Lewis McKinney, Louis Isherwood, Zenon Bahula, and Scott Lysett. The teams take to the field. Marine in their home strip of white and black, and City of Liverpool in all purple.
3, James Brannigan. 4, Mark Howard. 5, Joseph Wright. 16, Winnard. 7, Owen Watkinson. 8, Alex Doyle. 9, Lewis Riley. 10, Steve Irwin. And 11, Neil Kenji. And the City of Liverpool, 1, Oliver Martin. 2, Zach Alley. 3, Jack Walls. 4, Ryan Schofield. 5, Jack Hinnigan. 6, Glenn Newman captain. 7, James Edgar. 8, Elliot Johnson. 9, Josh Qualas. 10, Jack Hazelhurst. And 11, Michael J. Monaghan. And soups, James Murphy, Lewis McKinney, Lewis Isherwood, Zenon Bahula, and Scott Lysett. And the referee is Daniel Mitchell. His assistants from red, David Cooper. And assistant from yellow, Mark Holmes. Thank you.
So looking at the team sheet today, could line up in a number of different ways. Got James Barragan wearing the number 3 shirt. So he has played at left back at times this season, but of course his preferred position is in the centre of the park. Joseph White is a natural full back, but he's wearing the number 5, so maybe he'll join the back 3 alongside Mark Howarth and Dean Winnard. We've also got Kenji, who's played at left wing back in recent weeks, but of course you prefer him to be further forward. You can imagine Lewis Riley will be at the centre of the attack. Doyle back in midfield is a given alongside Irwin. The way they're lining up, it looks like it's going to be a 3-5-2. So it looks like Kenji is going to be playing at left wing back today. Ben Hughes on the other side, of course, got a goal against Kendal Town in that 4-1 win. Looks like Joseph White is going to play on the left side of the back 3. Winnard on the right side, Howarth in the middle. Doyle and Irwin, you would imagine, in the middle of the park, alongside James Barragan as well. He's also in there. As Irwin gets us underway, and Howarth punts it long to get us started. But the wind, it's a very windy day here in Elmsmere Port. See how big an effect that's going to have on the match. City of Liverpool shooting from left to right as I look at it. Marine from right to left. Dean Winnard takes a long throw down the right wing, looking for Lewis Riley, but just cleared. Here's Monaghan. Joe White sweeps up and gets it out to Kenji on this near side. Looks to get down the wing, but the ball just holds up, so he plays it back to White. He looks for a long ball, looking throw in Watkinson. Headed clear by Hinnigan. And now Monaghan has it on the right side, cleared by Doyle, and it's almost wiped out the laptop. So it's going to be a throw-in to be taken by Jack Walls. Down the line looking for Monaghan again. Just put out of play by White. So another throw-in to be taken by Walls. It's mainly defending to do for Marine. As Kenji's back there, Barragan of course tracking back as well on this near side. Qualis looks to make an option for the short, but it looks like they're just going to launch a ball in towards the box. Hazelhurst is there, it just bounces off him rather than heading it back to Walls. Walls looks to get a ball into the box, cleared by Doyle, and it's going to be another throw-in for the Perps. Once again to be taken by Walls. Monaghan's made an option. And he's just run out of room there, Jack Walls, and it's going to be a throw-in for Marine. Looks like it's going to be Joe White to take down by the corner flag. Big crowd here today at the Van Eupen Arena. It's City Liverpool's it's expected to be the highest attendance of the season for them. So throw-in goes down the line, headed by Schofield, but Jack Walls has it now. Kenji just nicks in there. There's a free kick given for high boot. Whether the free kick was given for, it's an early chance to get a ball into the box. It looks like it's going to be Hazelhurst with his left foot to whip a ball into the box. Sorry, it was James Edgar, and it's a poor free kick. And Irwin looks to chase it after it bounces off him. But he's given away a free kick, which is taken quickly. Now it is Hazelhurst on the ball. Cuts back onto his left foot, gets the ball in. It's met by Qualis, but he couldn't get any direction on the header, and once again, it's just sort of bounced off him. It's gone behind for a goal kick, which will be taken by Aidan Dolan. The recent signing for Marine, on loan from Blackburn Rovers. Bailey passing back in the matchday squad today. He's been out for the last couple. Dolan, 19-year-old goalkeeper, 6'5". Looks to play a long kick forward, but it holds up in the wind slightly, makes it to the halfway line. And Riley wins a free kick. I think the defender just led with his elbow there. So Marine are going to have a free kick on the halfway line. Looks like it's going to be Mark Howarth to take. Tries to take it quickly, but the referee isn't happy with the blade of grass, but he's taking the free kick on. So he's got to take it back a yard. And another delay as he moved the ball back, and now Howarth's taken the free kick from miles behind where the foul actually happened. Very strange. Just a bit of a delay as the ball keeps rolling. It's very windy here today. Oh, and the long free kick just gets completely held up in the wind, but Joe White wins the header. And now Riley with a slight chance there to get in behind, but it's cleared by Hinnigan. A chance to just touch on the shape of City of Liverpool. Josh Qualis is playing as the number 9 today, the target man. Must be all of 6'3", 6'4". And it's going to be Monaghan and the top goal scorer, Hazelhurst, to play just off him as we look to get Monaghan in behind, but Dolan is off his line quickly. So it's going to be a throw-in over on the far side for City of Liverpool. Zach Ailey over there to take. Down the line looking for Koalas. And his flick on just runs harmlessly behind for a throw-in. Down by the corner flag. Dean Winnard playing on the right-hand side of a back three today. No Danny Shaw in the squad. Did go off injured against Kendall. Winnard's driven throw-in. He ends up in the Marine penalty area. Away by White towards Kenji. And Kenji well in twice there. He's not quite managed to keep possession. And the ball is now with Oliver Martin, the City of Liverpool goalkeeper. His clearance is headed away by Winnard. But now here's Johnson in the middle of the pitch. Closed down well by Barragan. And then hoofed forward by Jack Walls. Into the grateful hands of Dolan. Here's Joe White. He's got Kenji down the line for him. Looks long again for Watkinson. Gets his body in the way. Well there, Watkinson. Doesn't quite win the throw-in though. The referee today, Daniel Hitchell, signals for a throw-in for the home side. Which is taken, looking once again for Koalas, who wins the header, and it's flicked on towards Hazelhurst. And Winnard has got some tracking back to do. Hazelhurst onto his left, tries to cut back onto his right, but Winnard didn't quite fall for it. And Howarth can sweep up, looks to play it down the line. Riley gets there, just gets between Rule and the ball and wins a free kick. Given away by the captain there, Glenn Rule. It's a warning sign for Marine, that. That's what they're going to try to do, get the ball into Koalas, especially in this first half with the wind behind them. Play a long ball up to the target man and flick it on for Hazelhurst, the top goal scorer for City of Liverpool. Got 9 goals in the league this season. The ball deep in the City of Liverpool half now. Kenji tries to flick it forward towards Irwin. And it's cleared in the end by Ailey. Once again looking for Koalas. But Howarth does well to get his body between the man and the ball and shepherd it out for a goal kick. Good defending there from Mark Howarth. In a slightly unfamiliar position today, in the middle of the back three. Usually starts on the left-hand side. So a goal kick to be taken by Dolan. So about 9 minutes in to the first half. It's still goalless. Both teams just trying to establish a playing style in this wind. Much harder for Marine as every clearance, just like that one has, every goal kick, it just gets completely caught up in the wind. I wonder if that'll lead to a change of style. And here's Koalas now looking to play in. Hazelhurst flicks it off, looking for Monaghan, but his effort from the edge of the box is deflected behind for a corner, which Jack Hazelhurst will take. Oh no, sorry, it's going to be James Edgar with the left foot looking to curl one in. This could be dangerous for Marine. The wind really is picking up here. So a chance for the Perps. Ball swung in, it's a good corner. Vital touch from Riley in his own penalty area. Back on defensive duty. It's Kenji, stays on the halfway line looking to play the out ball. It's going to be an in-swinging corner this time on the other side from Johnson. Met at the near post by Barragan. It's not a great clearance. And Johnson once again, or Hazelhurst, sorry, won the ball back from Barragan over on the far side, on the left side of the penalty area. Cut back onto his left, but he's crossed into the box, went behind for a goal kick. Kenji just being reminded to keep his width. playing at left wing back today, somewhere he's played a couple of times in recent weeks against Kendall and away at Prescott. Oh, you may have just heard the bang there. White's clearance landed on the roof of the stand. So it's going to be another throw in for City of Liverpool. Jack Walls looking down the line for Qualis. But Howarth wins the header, and it's eventually, well, it's almost cleared by White, but it bounces off of Doyle. And Marine get a break from defending now as Monaghan is offside. Flag up from David Cooper, the linesman today. Mark Groves on the other side. Joe White is just providing a short option for Dolan, which is taken. Goes back to his goalkeeper though. White has it once more, looking down the line. Watkinson's with his hand up. Can he win the header? Riley instead wins it. Flicks it on for Irwin. Now here's Watkinson into the path of Hughes. He can get into the box here and have a crack. And it looks like it's just going to deflect behind for a corner. Good effort from Hughes. Really good play by Riley to come in and win the header. Flick it on for Irwin. Get it back into Watkinson to try and play Hughes in behind. Now the corner is going to be taken by James Barragan. Back in midfield today. Of course, against Kendall, 3 of the 4 goals for Marine were scored from James Barragan set pieces. So we know they can be dangerous. Ball into the box, looking for Winnard, but headed away by Rule. It's Kenji, flicks on again for Winnard. Watkinson's in there, but it's cleared again. And Winnard, to be honest, it looks like a soft free kick given by the referee there, but respite for City of Liverpool. Winnard went up for the header, but a little bit too aggressively in the opinion of the referee. So Oliver Martin with a chance to play a long free kick forward with the wind behind him. No doubt Josh Qualis will be the target once again. He's come over to this right-hand side, looking to get on Kenji, but it's headed away by Joe White. Watkinson was in there, looking to win it back. Schofield can clear now. But his clearance is judged to have taken a nick off of Barragan on its way out. It's going to be a throw in for the home side. The referee just wants a word with Barragan. Of course, the captain today. Alex Doyle's not happy about something. Whether he was just trying to get Barragan out of talking himself into a booking, I'm not sure. Barragan still doesn't seem happy. But Jack Walls is going to get us back underway with a throw-in. Looking down the line for Qualis. He wins a flick on in towards Hazelhurst. The ball's holding up on the edge of the box. It's cleared by Winnard. And it's met on the halfway line by Hinnigan, who looks to get Ailey down the left wing. He's done well to get a ball in there, Ailey, in towards Qualis. Headed by Howarth. And now Hughes can clear only as far as Edgar. Now Irwin wins it back off Edgar. Looks to keep the ball down the right wing. But he's won back fairly by Edgar. Now Ailey looks to get down the left wing. But it's cleared by Hughes. So it's going to be a throw-in high up the pitch for City of Liverpool. It will be taken by Zach Ailey over on that far side. Hazelhurst comes short, but Edgar has it now. Back out to Ailey. Ailey looks to drive one into the box, but it's cleared only as far as Joe White. It's not a great header by Howarth. It's caused a bit of confusion. And the ball is in the back of the net. So the wind sort of caused a bit of confusion between Howarth. He tried to head it back to Dolan. And Dolan was fouled as the ball went into the net. So a bit of a let-off there for Marine. Here's Kenji. Clears it with the right boot. Ends up going out towards Ben Hughes on right wing back, but he can't quite keep it in play. And the throw-in taken down the line by Ailey. Looks for Qualis. Good save from Dolin. It's a long throw-in. I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but the wind here really is having a big effect on the game. A long throw-in. Just floated into the box up from all of 30 yards. Just bounced into the path of Qualis. Got a bit of a toe on it, not a solid connection, but it needed stopping, and Dolan did that, so it's a corner. Looking for Monaghan on the edge of the box. It's fell to him now. But it's a great driven effort. It's headed clear. I think it's Watkinson that's got his head in there. And now Kenji looks to counter-attack down the right wing, but it's won back by Walls. It's swung back in towards Qualis, headed away by White. And now Irwin's got a little bit of space on the ball. He's got past Edgar. Done really well there, Irwin. Cuts back to Hughes, who might just play it long, looking for Watkinson. He's held it up fairly well. Back to Hughes again, who plays it long once again. If Riley can run it behind, but Schofield is there, and the flag is up against Lewis Riley. So it's going to be a free kick to be taken by Oliver Martin. Qualis, the target man, sort of positioned himself somewhere in between Joe White and Neil Kenji, staying away from Mark Howarth, who's not exactly short in his own right. It does find Qualis. His header doesn't have a lot of direction. Over towards Hughes, being closed down by Zach Ailey, but it's out for a throw-in. "18 minutes in, we're still goalless here, if you're just joining us. There's a throw-in to be taken by Dean Winnard. Down the line looking for Watkinson. Rule is in there too. Watkinson's on the deck. And long ball played forward for Qualis again, but here's Monaghan with a little bit of time and space in the middle. Closed down now by Doyle. Tries his luck from 25 yards. Not far wide. Decent effort, but Dolan was never worried. And a quick goal kick is taken short this time for White. He's got Kenji down the line, but he could do with a bit more support. Howarth there as well. And Howarth might just get it long now. Into Riley. Schofield's come round him and nicked it off him. Edgar's in there too now with the ball. And a long clearance. Played up towards Qualis again. But Johnson for the home side. It's tenacious. And Irwin looks like he slipped there. It's all a bit hectic there in the middle of the park. City of Liverpool piling the pressure on. And it fell to Edgar on the edge of the box for number 7. Tried his luck with his left foot and it just flew over. As Johnson did well to battle the ball back high up the pitch for City of Liverpool. And here's White. Marine just need to get out their own half at the minute. They need to sort of weather the storm as they've got the wind going against them. It's Barragan. Play it back for Howarth to play along. Headed away by Schofield. And Winnard with his own headed clearance. Going to fall for Edgar in midfield under challenge from Irwin. Here's Zach Ailey. Looking down the line for Edgar. Back in for Rule. That's a loose ball in midfield. I mean, should have picked up in there. Here's Kenji. Won it back himself. Needs to release it. Back to Joe White. Looks long towards the halfway line. Here's Watkinson now. He's back to goal. Just has it nicked off him by Rule. And he tries to play it long for Monaghan. But it's out for a throw-in. Throw to be taken by Joe White. The recent signing by Neil Young. Naturally a left back signed from FC United of Manchester. Only 20 years old. Another young signing for this young squad. Schofield takes no risks with the throw-in. It's gone behind for another Joe White. Throw on about the halfway line. Looks down the line for Watkinson. Headed away by Schofield though. There's Hazelhurst dropping deep to win the ball back. Barragan's got a toe on the ball, but the ref's giving a free kick. Monaghan's not happy about something, but not sure why. He's won the free kick. It's going to be the goalkeeper, Martin, a long way out of his box. Coming to take it. Johnson offers the short option. Martin doesn't take him up on it. Qualis has positioned himself over towards Dean Winnard on that right hand side. Can't quite win the flick on. It's gone behind for a goal kick. Dolan has retrieved the ball. Joe White once again provides a short option. Long ball played forward. In towards Riley. Kenji looks to pick up on the loose ball, but Rule has it in midfield now. Over towards Edgar. And Ailey looks to play the overlap, but a little bit too much pace on the ball. It's going to be Winnard to take the throw in on around the halfway line. Looks down the line. Oh, it's a strange throw in. Might have even been a foul throw towards Hughes. Winnard tries to play it down the line once again. Ball bouncing around. So Watkinson tries to play in Riley. He's got the ball sort of near the corner flag. It's a lovely little nutmeg, but he's not quite managed to get around the other side of him. And in the end, he's given away a free kick for holding on to Jack Hinnigan there. Good defending from Hinnigan. So about halfway through first half, still goalless. Long free kick taken up towards the halfway line. Header won by Ailey. But Winnard can just watch it go out for a throw. Ball bouncing around on that far side for Marine. Hoofed forward again. It's Glenn Rule's come charging in with a low header. It's cleared. I think it's Doyle in the end that's got it away there. Just another ball having to be retrieved. Maybe about the 5th or 6th of the game. Ailey looking to take advantage of the wind advantage down the line in towards Hazelhurst. Looking lively on that far side, but Hughes doesn't quite have him under control, and he wins a corner in the end. So another chance to get a ball into the box. I think it's not going to be Elliot Johnson to take this one. It's going to be Edgar. So it's going to be an out-swinging corner this time from the left foot of Edgar. Looks to drive it in. Oh, it's a high but not a long clearance from Doyle, and the ball safely bounces into the hands of Aidan Dolan. He's got Joe White to the left of him. He uses him. Back to Howarth, under a little bit of pressure from Qualis. Dolan plays a loose ball into the middle, but Doyle just meets it. They're really struggling in there to get out of their own half at the minute, Marine. That's another ball aimed towards Qualis in the box, and it runs all the way across the box, and now Kenji picks it up, and he's just run himself into a bit of trouble there. He's lost it. It's Johnson, Walls sneaked it off him. And Walls is going to take a throw in towards Johnson this time. Wins another throw in. Just looking for an option. It's Johnson. Back to Walls. Looks to get a ball into the box. The fullback. But his cross just evades everyone and goes out for a goal kick. While we get ready for Doling to take the goal kick, I'll just read out a couple of scores that might be of interest to our listeners. Leek Town currently drawing away at Kendall Town 1-1. Bootle have gone 1-0 up at home to Colne. Mossley lead Kidsgrove 2-1. And all the other scores are goalless today. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on Workington away at Runcorn Linnets as well. It's one of the big games of the day. A few oohs around the ground. There's a long ball from Marine. Looks like it might just catch out the back line of City of Liverpool for a second, but Oliver Martin was quickly off his line to squash any of those hopes. But it's going to be a throw into Marine. Winard to take the throw in over on the far side, deep inside his own half, up towards the halfway line, into the chest of Riley, but couldn't really do much with it. He was already on the touchline, just chested it out of play. A long throw, it's run well by Mark Howarth. I think in terms of the defensive side for Marine, we've got to try and keep Howarth on Josh Qualis, both a similar height. Now Watkinson's got a chance to latch onto a loose ball in midfield. Try and get Kenji away, but the ball for Kenji wasn't the best. It was a little bit too infield. But they've won a throw-in, which Barragan will look to take quickly. Throws it back towards Joe White. Poor touch from White. His second touch is a tackle. And his third is a foul. Poor touch from White there. Barragan tried to take the throw-in quickly. Just miscontrolled it. His second touch was a tackle. And then as soon as he got past the initial challenge, he followed through again and just took out Glenn Rule, the Perps captain. Oliver Martin will take the goal kick here. The free kick, sorry. It's a long one, looking for Qualis again. Riley is playing back into Barragan's a little bit short. Qualis picks it up. Monaghan looks to find Edgar, but Irwin's in there to win it back. Irwin plays the ball outside of his right boot, out towards Watkinson, just about keeps it in play, does with number 7. Hughes, again, it's another poor control. Struggling at the minute, Marine, for control. Zach Ailey is on the halfway line now to take a throw in. Half an hour played, still goalless. Very long, loopy throw towards Qualis, flicked on, but Dolan catches it. Joe White once again has made an option to the left. It looks like Dolan's going to try and play a long drop kick forward. And he does. And it's going to be another throw-in. On throw. Taken by Ayling. Ayling once again. Headed on by Winard. But Dolan dives well to keep it in play instead of conceding the corner. Here's White under a little bit of pressure from Koalas. Looks to play it long, but again, it's just been caught up by the wind. Headed back forward by Walls. Kept in by White. And here's Kenji now. Oh, Irwin just loses his footing, but does well to recover. And now Hughes has a chance. Needs to try and run with the ball. Back to Winard. Winard might just look to play it back to Howarth. Howarth with a decent lofted ball over towards Hughes on the right wing again. Does really well, Hughes, to keep it in play and get past his man. But he just loses it. But White is there to pick it up in midfield. Plays a long ball out towards Kenji on the left wing. Just about keeps it in play. Can Barragan get there? Johnson nicks it off him. But it's still a loose ball and Irwin picks it up. Here's Kenji now. He's back to goal. Looks to turn. Does really well. Can he get a ball into the box? He can, but it's cleared easily by Hinnigan. Bit better from Marine. Keeping the ball along the ground rather than just trying to hoof it long. Not had a lot of luck with the long balls forward because of the wind. Looks like Kenji's going to take the throw-in. Takes it back towards White. Can White work himself a yard of space? Kenji overlaps brilliantly. Can he get a ball into the box? And Mark Groves, the assistant referee on the far side, has got his flag up against Kenji for offside. So it's going to be a free kick for City of Liverpool. Prescott Cables have taken the lead at 1874 Northwich, but other than that, everything is as I reported earlier. Jack Hazelhurst looks to keep the ball in down the left wing, but instead he just lets it go because he realises it's going to be a perps throw-in. Which will be taken by Zach Ailey, playing at left back today, the number 2. It's Elliot Johnson, fairly unmarked on the edge of the box, if Barragan can just pick him up, but the ball's lofted in. And here is Johnson, tries his luck on the volley. And it's no problem for Dolan, high and wide. It's important for Marine to just weather the first half storm. City of Liverpool have had the wind behind them, and they have used it to their advantage at times, with a big target man there as well. Long ball played forward towards Watkinson, but cleared by Schofield. Kenji looks to play it up towards Riley again. But that one's cleared as well. Joe White with a clearance of his own. And here's Howarth looking to play it out towards Hughes. Can he keep it in? He can. Playing at right wing back today, Hughes. Oh, Dean Winardi's recovered well after the initial stumble. Could have been trouble there for the centre back, but he just about recovered. Long ball, long throw, sorry, taken into Koalas, but it's a poor touch from the big man. And here's Barragan tries to get it clear, but his Walls, the right back, stopped in its tracks by White, and again cleared by Kenji. And here's Irwin now, just gets in there before Johnson and wins a free kick. Good play by Irwin. It's going to be a free kick for Marine now. Here is Mark Howarth, about 20 yards inside his own half. They're going to play it long by the looks of things, despite the wind. Can he get enough power behind it to get it significantly up the pitch? He does, towards the edge of the area, but it's headed clear. Headed clear once again by the Perps. And the ball eventually finds its way into the hands of Aidan Dolan. He just rolls it out for Joe White with another long ball forward and towards Hughes. It's an interesting one. I think the last touch came off the City Liverpool player. Riley has it over on the left wing. He's got Kenji for support. Kenji has Barragan there with him. Barragan just needs a support. Back to Joe White, the left centre-back, driving forward into the feet of Kenji, who stepped in field from the left wing-back role. Whips the ball towards the goal. And I think Owen Watkinson got the final touch on it, but it's just gone wide. Not a lot of power behind it. Just into the side netting for Marine. Just under 10 minutes to go until the half-time whistle. Very important for Marine to go in without conceding a goal. Obviously, if they can withstand the pressure that the weather and the effect that the weather's having on the game, will stand them in good stead for when they have the weather behind them in the second half. If you're just joining us, it's an extremely windy day here at the Van Eupen Arena in Elmsmere Port. The ball's out of play on the far side. Dean Winnard is going to take a throw in. He's got Hughes down the line. It looks like the ball is up towards Watkinson. It's not a great throw in from Winnard. It's just gone straight out of play. Throwing down the line, looking for Koalas, but it's just bounced over him. Koalas looks to just punt it forward again. Hughes clears it down the line into Koalas, who's very deep now, inside his own half. And it's cleared by Ailey. Headed out by Dean Winnard. So it's going to be a throw-in for the Perps. Headed again by Winnard. And just bounces over Ben Hughes. So it's going to be a throw-in for City. James Edgar makes an option. And he's taken. He just scoops it back over to Ailey, who's going to swing a ball in towards Koalas. Lets it run. Cleared by Barragan. Just stepped into a defensive back line. Watkinson looks to bring it away. Stayed down under the challenge from Hinnigan, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Back to his feet now. Throw in for Marine. Not much between the two sides as it stands. 39 minutes played. Still goalless. No major chances for either side. You'd probably say the best Marine chance was that Watkinson effort a couple of minutes ago. But even that wasn't really a shot. It just sort of bounced off his foot, I think. City, Liverpool have had the ball in the back of the net, but Aidan Dolan was fouled on its way in. And here's Koalas looking to get in behind now. It's not quite got the speed of someone that you'd expect to be getting in behind, though. And Joe White recovers well to come and shepherd him out of play. Manager Neil Young shouting words of encouragement at Joe White. His young left back playing it in a back three today on the left hand side. Here's Winnard, who's on the other side of Mark Goworth. Brings it forward and plays it down the line. But again, it just gets held up in the wind. You'd have thought they would have learnt by now, Marine, just to keep it low. Keep it on the floor. It's a speculative effort from Hazelhurst with his right foot from about 45 yards on the volley. It just bounces through to Dolan. And here's White now. Looking for Watkinson. It's a dangerous one. He collides with the goalkeeper. Martin did not like that one. But the keeper has it in his hands as he ushers his players forward into the final 5 minutes of the first half. And the flick on is won by Qualis. Hazelhurst not quick enough to react. Dolan off his line well. It's Joe White once again. Probably just going to play it long. And he does into Watkinson. Wins it, but headed away by Hinnigan. But here's Barragan now in midfield. He's got Hughes wide. Will he look to beat his man or just cuts back inside? Does he win a free kick? No, nothing given. Hazelhurst looks to counter-attack. There's Edgar. Plays it out for the target man, really. Swings it back in, out the back post. Falls for Hazelhurst on his right foot. And a big chance goes begging for City of Liverpool. Edgar did well to win the ball in midfield. Played it out towards Qualis. Of course, you would have wanted him in the middle, but he swings in a decent ball. And it evades everyone and just bounces up invitingly for Hazelhurst at the back post. But he just volleys his effort over. It's a let-off for Marine, that. Probably the biggest chance of the half, you'd say. Surely Marine have got to win a free kick there. As Doyle has wrestled to the floor. Nothing given, though. Qualis looks to flick it forward. Looking for Glenn Rule. Joe White does well. But then takes a little bit too much time on it, and Qualis wins it back. Walls looks to swing a ball in towards Hazelhurst. But now Hughes got a little bit of time and space over on that right wing. Plays it back for Dean Winnard. And it's Howarth. Switches it over towards White, who himself has a bit of time on the ball. His long ball forward is cleared by Schofield. Irwin's in there. Maybe fouled Edgar, but nothing given. Irwin has it again on this left wing. Up near the corner flag. And he's won his side of throw-in, which Kenji will take. Here's Irwin. Back to Kenji. Looks to try and swing a ball into the box, but it's not the best cross, and it's gone into a crowd of Marine fans behind the goal. 43 minutes played now. A couple of minutes till half-time. Can't imagine there'll be a lot of added time, maybe a minute. Just for all the ball recoveries, and a couple of times where Barragan's had something to say to the referee. Oliver Martin plays a long ball forward. Won by Qualis, but Dolan will watch it go behind for a goal kick. It's been the story of much of his half, to be honest. Long ball played forward, looking for Hazelhurst. Looking for Qualis, sorry. But his flick-ons haven't really caused much danger so far. It's Howarth. Plays it into Barragan. Dropping deep into midfield. But Joe White slightly ahead of him, who can just about cut inside, but has to play it back to Barragan. Looks to play it down the line. It's a moan of frustration from Barragan as his clearance just goes out of play. Throw-in taken, looking for Qualis, won well by White, but here's Hazelhurst. Plays it out wide for Ailey. Ailey looks to just ping one back in, looking for Qualis. It's cleared by Howarth. Good defending there from Mark Howarth. Ben Hughes can clear it further, but it lands on top of the stand. Final 15 seconds of regulation time for the first half. Still goalless. So maybe one last chance for, well, either side really, but City of Liverpool on the offensive. Throw-in taken down the line, looking for Qualis. He wins the flick on. Monaghan fails to control. As the fourth official signals there'll be 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. say the fourth official. He was a member of the City Liverpool coaching team. Anyway, here's Joe White on the ball. Looks to play it long once again. Looking for Watkinson, headed away by Schofield. Here's Hughes. He's got Irwin down the line for him. Maybe a late chance for Marine. Irwin cuts back onto his left foot. Just has it nicked off him. It's Doyle. Tries to play it forward again, but it's cleared by Ailey. Winard just watches it bounce. And I think it comes off Hazelhurst on its way out there. Hazelhurst has stayed down. He's off the pitch, though. But he's going to need some treatment. Not sure what's happened there, whether he's fallen into the advertising barrier, or whether he's just caught Winard's stud. This centre back. This centre back cleared it. Looks like it might be a head injury. Sorry, it's not Hazelhurst, it's Monaghan, the number 11. So it looks like we'll be getting more than our 2 minutes of additional time anyway. Probably add another 30 seconds on for that. And to get us back underway, Dean Winard has a throw in, about 10 yards inside the City half. He's got Hughes down the line. Irwin's there too. It's going to be up towards Watkinson. Watkinson holds it up well, looks to turn, and he wins a corner. This is surely going to be the last chance of the first half. A corner over on the right hand side, so it's going to be an in-swinger from the left boot of Barragan, who's so dangerous against Kendall. Goals from Riley, Howarth and Danny Shaw. Ball swung in by Barragan. Looking for Mark Howarth. Ball's bouncing around and it's just about cleared by City Liverpool. And Daniel Hitchell signals the end of the first half. It's been a cagey encounter. A few big tackles flying in. Both sides adopting long ball football. City Liverpool have had the wind behind them for all of the first half, looking to play the ball into Josh Koalas. Marine at times have struggled to get out of their own half due to, well, struggles with the wind. But they've withstood the pressure. And at half-time, we are still goalless as it's City Liverpool 0, Marine 0. Join me in 15 minutes for the second half. Hello and welcome back for the live coverage of today's match between City of Liverpool and Marine. 0-0 at half-time. A very windy day here in Elmsmere Port. Marine, luckily, will have the wind behind them for the second half. It did well to weather the storm, if you'll pardon the pun, in the first half. Lots of long balls from City Liverpool played forward up towards Josh Koalas. A big target man, must be about 6'3", 4". So I'd say apologies to everyone that's been commenting in the first half. I wasn't able to read any of them, but I can see them now. So Colin, if you're still listening, we do this for every away match. We miss Prescott, but usually for the away matches we will be doing commentary. Keep getting your comments in throughout the second half.
Hey, it's been a fucking slaver stronghold for 25 years. It has. Check the fucking history. It's been a Labour stronghold for 25 years.
Marine fans very vocal, as you might be able to hear, just in front of me in the stand. Glenn Rule, the City Liverpool captain, ready to get us underway for the second half, and he does. No changes to report of that I can see. Yeah, looks to be two unchanged sides. So in case you're just joining us, Marine are lining up with three centre-backs, a back three of Dean Winnard, Mark Howarth and Joe White. Aidan Dolan, obviously behind them in goal. Wing-backs, Ben Hughes on the right and Neil Kenji on the left. James Barragan, the captain, and Alex Doyle in central midfield. Steve Irwin slightly ahead of them in sort of number 10 position. And up front, Lewis Riley and Owen Watkinson. As the Perps look to play the ball forward, headed clear by Howarth and then put behind for a throw-in. Just reading some comments here. In terms of the Marine supporters, I couldn't give you a number, but let's just say they've been backed very well, the Mariners. Not far to go, but a bit of a tricky one to get to on the train. Closest station, Houghton, and then it's about a 25-minute walk from there, or 5 minutes in a taxi. But Marine have been backed very well here. And yes, Marine do have the wind behind them now, so let's see how well they can use that to their advantage as Neil Kenji looks to take a throw in deep in the City half. Steve Irwin, short option, can't quite control it, and it's cleared up and away by City, out for another throw in though. Throw-in to be taken by Joe White. Down the line, looking into the body of Riley, controls it well, plays in Irwin. Irwin's in the box now, plays it off for Barry, and it's 1-0 to the Mariners. 2 minutes into the second half. There's a throw-in down the line into the body of Louis Riley. Lays it off for Steve Irwin, does well to beat his man inside the penalty area. Lays it off for James Barragan, and it's a cracking finish with the left foot from today's captain. And the deadlock is broken. Marine, very good football for the Mariners. And it's City of Liverpool 0, Marine 1. I have to say that's some of the best football I've seen in the last few weeks from Marine. They've got the wind to the wind behind them, yes, but that was a well-worked goal on the ground. The throw in into the body of Riley. did well to hold it up and then lay it off for Irwin. Beat one man, cut back inside, laid it off for Barragan. That's a great finish into the bottom right corner. And that will settle the nerves. City, Liverpool in possession now. Look to attack through Monaghan. Ball's out for a throw-in, which will be taken by Jack Walls over on the far side. About 20 yards inside the Marine half. Into the feet of Hazelhurst. And out again by Barragan, the goal scorer. That goal, James Barragan's 6th in all competitions for the season. Of course, a couple of those have been penalties, but this one a nice, well-worked one from open play. Ben Hughes has it now. Looks to play it into Riley. Holds it up well. Flicks the ball over into the path of Hughes down the right wing. But it's just run out of play there. As a throw-in to be taken by Zach Ailey. It's a long throw. Looking for Hazelhurst, but met by Howarth. Now Hughes looks to battle on this near side, right in front of me. And it's won back well in the midfield by Barragan from Qualis. Looks to play Kenji down the line. Big, strong tackle by Glenn Rule, the captain. White has it now. Just checks back for Barragan. It's a very high clearance. Kept in though. Over on the right-hand touchline for the Perps. It's Monaghan into the feet of Qualis. Got a bit of space to play it down the line. I believe that's Walls, the right back, on the ball. Closed down well by White. Throwing into Hazelhurst. Back for Walls. Hazelhurst on the edge of the box, looks to play in Monaghan. Monaghan tries to get a ball into the box, but it's cleared. Out for a throw-in by White. The wind picking up again here. I've mentioned it a few times in the first half, but really is very windy here today. Throw-in into Hazelhurst. So Eric, if he missed the commentary of the goal, there's a throw-in into the body of Lewis Riley from Joe White down the left-hand side. Riley played it into the path of Irwin, who did well to beat a man in the box and then cut back for James Barragan, who finished into the bottom right corner. It's a very well-worked goal from Marine. Some of the best football I've seen in the last few weeks. After a couple of bad results against Bootle, Warrington Rylands and Mossley. Back to winning ways against Kendall the other day. And 1-0 up here. It's Kenji looks to, not Kenji, sorry. Irwin looks to get down the left wing. Appeals for a penalty. As he's toppled, but I have to say, it looks like the City Liverpool defender got a toe in first. Won it back fairly, but they have conceded a corner. It's going to be an outswinger from James Barragan. Interesting that they go for an outswinger in these windy conditions rather than an inswinger. But it's a driven one. Looking for Irwin, but it's met by Rule. But it looks like it's just bounced off a hand of Irwin. Taken long by Martin. Does well to evade the wind. I think it's just stopped for a minute. Ooh, Irwin, slightly high boot, but nothing wrong with it in the eyes of the referee. Kenji looks to play Watkinson down the line, but he's smashed it behind for a goal kick. Oliver Martin to get us back underway. And this time his goal kick does get caught up slightly in the wind. But here's Qualis now, the big target man for City of Liverpool. Winard into Doyle. Doyle just plays it out wide looking for Kenji. Kenji does well to control and then beat Glenn Rule. And in the end, he's just stopped by Zach Ailey, the right back. Tracked his man well. And Watkinson wins it back from Monaghan. Great defensive work from the forward. Tries to play it Kenji down the left wing. But in the end, he's stopped. Just a reminder of some of the subs on the bench for Marine today. Josh Solomon-Davies is back in the squad. So another option at right back, although Ben Hughes has had a decent game at right wing back so far. Bailey Passant's back in the squad today. He's been absent for the last couple of games after the signing of Aidan Dolan. Again, Dolan's been decent, not had a whole lot to do, but what he's needed to do, he has done. His distribution's been pretty good. As he has the ball in his hands now, looking for, well, I think he'll play it long this time. More attacking options on the bench. George Newell, the club captain now, Cummins, and Ryan Wignall, if required. I expect we'll see at least one or two of them later on. It's Kenji has the ball now, about 45 yards from goal. Who's being pulled all over the place by Monaghan. I can't see any complaints for that free kick being given. And now a chance to get the ball into the penalty area with the wind behind them. It's going to be Joe White. Slightly left of centre, about 20 yards, 15, 20 yards in the City half. City holding a fairly high line, given the windy conditions. A few yards outside the penalty area. The ball's played in. Looking for Mark Howarth at the back post. Winard, I think, meets it and tries to just play it back for Howarth. Tries to smash it goalwards, but it's blocked. And it's out for a throw-in. Today's captain for Marine is James Barragan, the new vice-captain, announced a couple of weeks ago. Hughes is going to take this throw-in on the right wing, near the corner flag, about 10 yards from it. Into the feet of Louis Riley. And like Hughes beats his man. No, he doesn't. Ailey puts it out for another throw-in. Irwin. Down by the corner flag. Can he win a corner? No, he can get it into the feet of Riley. And he's just run out of space there. And it's a goal kick. A few of the Marine fans behind the goal just taking their time and giving the ball back to Oliver Martin. Spot of time wasting there with the Mariners 1-0 up. Long ball played forward, met by Alex Doyle in midfield. Here's Watkinson now, can't quite control. The ball's spinning, but it's won back by Rule, the captain. Is cleared by Johnson. The ball's just holding up, not quite enough on it for Dolan to come and collect. But Howarth does well to clear, and now Joe White has a bit of time on the ball. Great play to get it out to Barragan, who can run down the left wing. He's got Kenji ahead of him. He's got Riley inside. Edgar just gets a toe on it, though. And Rule get it into the feet of Hazelhurst. It's good play by City Liverpool to keep the ball in. A fast tempo there is Ailey. Looks down the line, looking for, I think that's Hazelhurst or Edgar. And it's out for a throw-in. Throw-in taken, looking for Qualis, but headed away by Winard. Good header from centre-back. It's Kenji with an acrobatic clearance to try and find Watkinson down the left wing. Just watched out by, not watched out, sorry, kept in by Ryan Schofield. Back to his keeper. The keeper's clearance only as far as Irwin. Riley does really well to improvise and tries this up from range. Straight at the keeper, though. Yes, that's correct, Eric. We are at the Van Eupen Arena in Ellesmere Port, home of Vauxhall Motors, where Marine were in pre-season. Kicked off pre-season at Vauxhall Motors with a 5-1 win. The ball about 20 yards inside the Marine half now, just put out of play by Koalas. Throw in to be taken by Winard. Down the line is Riley. Just about wins a header, but Hinnigan can clear. Here's Monaghan now. Tackled by Irwin, which puts White under a little bit of pressure, but he smashes it clear in the end. Couple of scores, but might interest Marine fans. Warrington Rylands are 2-0 up at home to Glossop North End. Runcorn Linnets are still holding Workington 0-0, so that's good in terms of a title race for Marine. Bootle are 1-0 up at home to Colne. Leek Town are 2-1 up away at Kendal. Mossley have now gone 3-1 up at home to Kidsgrove. Widnes are a goal up at home to Clitheroe. And yes, the new goalkeeper, Aidan Dolan, is on loan. This is his third game. He's on loan till the end of the season from Blackburn Rovers, 19 years old. Very solid today. Back underway with a throw-in. Is Koalas. Looks to just play it into the path of Johnson. Big sliding tackle though. Johnson just catches Hughes and it's going to be a free kick for Marine. Free kick to be taken, I think, by Howarth. No, Howarth's just going to leave it for Dolan to take. Hughes is hugging this right touchline. It looks like that's going to be the target. Riley's come over to this side as well. Kenji's just opened himself up in a bit of space. But the ball just goes towards Riley over on the right-hand side. Headed up, but not away by Ailey. And again from Schofield. Some poor clearances here from City Liverpool. Maybe it's the wind playing a role in that. But the keeper now has the ball in his hands. Plays it long. Only as far as Ailey though. Again, another example of the wind coming into effect. Here's Koalas now on about the halfway line. Under pressure from Doyle. And he just wins a free kick. I think Howarth came in as well and just clipped his ankles. A couple of Marine players just getting a bit of a, I think it's Irwin, just getting a bit of a warning for kicking the ball away. Bit of gamesmanship. Long ball into the box. It's caught Marine out. It's Hazelhurst. Tries to work it onto his right foot. And he turns. And it's equalised. It's 1-1. It's a great finish, to be fair, from Jack Hazelhurst for his 10th league goal of the season. The free kick was taken quickly. Marine was sleeping into the penalty area. Hazelhurst controlled, had time to turn and found the bottom right corner. City Liverpool 1, Marine 1. About an hour played. And Barragan, I'm not sure what that's for, maybe he said something, but Barragan's picked up a yellow card. Bit of a delay with the restart as a couple of City Liverpool players are a bit too eager. But here's Riley now on the right wing. Nods it to Hughes. Looks to play it into Watkinson. And Irwin comes from Ireland in. And it's not a foul, but it's a painful one for Ailey. It is a foul, sorry. It's nothing malicious. And it's been headbutted in the back of the head there as they both went up for the header, Ailey's rolling around in pain. Did look painful, that. I don't think it's worthy of a yellow card, to be honest. I think it was an honest attempt to play the ball, but Ailey's just beaten into it and headed it away. And Irwin, to be honest, he's picked up a yellow card, but maybe it's just with the force that he came in. To be honest, it must be a bit of a painful one for Irwin as well. There was some force on the header. It's a shame he's absolutely smashed into Ailey instead of the ball. So a bit of a stopping play here. See if I can find some scores. It looks like nothing's changed in the NPL West. So in case you've missed them, 1874 Northwich 0, Prescott Cables 1, Bootle 1, Cole 0, City of Liverpool 1, Marine 1 of course, Kendal Town 1, Leek Town 2, Market Drayton Town 0, Trafford 3, good result for them so far, Mossley 3, Kidsgrove Athletic 1, Newcastle Town 1, Ramsbottom United 1, Runcorn Linnets 0, Workington 0, so the league lead is still being held away at Runcorn. Warrington Rylands 2, Glossop North End 0, Widnes 1, Clitheroe 1. We're back underway. A long free kick into the penalty area again. It's another effort from Hazelhurst, but it's saved well this time by Dolan on the half volley from Hazelhurst. He's looked dangerous all game, to be honest. Obviously, he's got his goal now, the equaliser. City Liverpool just putting a bit of pressure on Marine here. Here's Watkinson down the left wing, can't quite keep it in play. And as the game goes on, you do start to wonder about, we're about 20 minutes into the half now, you start to wonder, will we see someone like Niall Cummins come on? With this wind advantage, some long balls might not be a bad idea for Marine, much like City Liverpool were doing for the first half. Long ball's played in towards Irwin. He can't quite control it, but he's punched over in the box. And it's a penalty for Marine. Out of nothing. Dean Winnard with a long ball forward. Steve Irwin showing his athleticism to latch onto it. Made up a lot of ground to control inside the penalty area. And he's absolutely bundled over. I think it was from James Edgar, the number 7. And now a chance for Marine to retake the lead. Is Lewis Riley. Looks like he's going to be the man to step up. Scored a couple of penalties in pre-season. Scored a couple in the FA Trophy as well. So here's Riley against Oliver Martin. Scores. City Liverpool 1, Marine 2. Lewis Riley converts the penalty into the bottom right corner. The same corner that James Barragan found earlier on in the match. Lewis Riley gets his 6th goal of the season. He's 5th in the league. And the vocal, massive Marine away following has something to cheer once again as West Side retakes the lead. Halfway through the second half, City Liverpool just started to apply a bit more pressure. Obviously scored a great equaliser then. Hazelhurst, the goal scorer, had another opportunity on the edge of the box on the half volley. Saved well by Dolan. And the goal for Marine came a little bit out of nowhere. It was just a long ball forward from Winnard. Controlled by Irwin inside the penalty area and bundled over by James Edgar. He didn't really need to do it, Edgar, to be honest. But I don't think they could have any complaints about the penalty being awarded. It was a strange, rash defending from Edgar. And Riley, cool from 12 yards to give Marine the lead. And here Marine are again. 25 yards from goal. Barragan tries to play it out wide for Kenji. Barragan just nods it back in midfield, but he's lost out there. Here's Hazelhurst looking to get forward again. Cleared by Howarth. He's had a solid game in defence, Howarth. And Riley can latch onto the clearance. Looks a scoop, sort of a scoop pass towards Hughes. It's not really come off. And here's Edgar now. Barragan's taking a tumble. Slippy conditions. Irwin intercepts. Will try his luck from 30 yards. It's deflected into a path of Hughes. Surely he'll have a go. He's just out wide. His check back needs an option, really. He's taken himself extremely wide now. Backed himself into a bit of a corner. But he's won a throw. Oh, bit of handbags there from Hughes. Bit of a shove on Glenn Rule, the captain for City Liverpool. Just needs to keep his calm. No point taking a pointless booking when Marine in the lead. Irwin and Riley coming, making options for the throw-in. Look to bounce off the arm of Irwin, to be honest, and he's absolutely wiped out by, I think it's Johnson. Doesn't look happy. Oh, and it looks like Johnson's just punched Ben Hughes in the face there, to be honest. It's all kicking off now. Watkinson piling in there. Barragan's piling in there, trying to break up Hughes. Hughes, it's got to be a red card, that. I've never seen anything like it. He's just punched him in the face. It's got to be Elliot. And it's all kicking off at the down by the touchline. Ben Hughes is absolutely incensed. Barragan just trying to calm things down. Watkinson's in there as well. Howarth trying to keep Watkinson away. It's turned very ugly here. In the middle of all this, Irwin is still down. He got absolutely smashed, to be honest. A couple of members of the coaching staff are on the pitch trying to calm things down. The referee's on the pitch. He just wants a word with his assistants, David Cooper and Mark Groves, to see what they saw. To me, it looks like Elliot Johnson's got to go, to be honest. He's punched Hughes in the face. There's no other result for it. It's got to be a red card. But I just wonder how many Marine players will pick up cards here as well, because it wasn't all one-sided, to be honest. Hughes wasn't happy. Watkinson was piled in, to be honest, as he often does. And it's a red card for, is it Johnson? There's going to be a couple of yellow cards as well by the looks of things. It looks like Ailey is going to receive a yellow card. Oh, sorry, it's not Johnson that's been booked. It's been sent off. It's Hazelhurst, the goal scorer. It looks like there's going to be another booking somewhere. Or has he got the red in his hand? It's a yellow card. I think it's going to be for Ben Hughes. A little bit harsh. He's been booked for being punched in the face. It's a strange one. But I think in the grand scheme of things, Marine have done well to escape that big scrap with only a couple of bookings. I didn't see if there was another one. I know Hughes has definitely picked one up. I think the referee's just going to have a word with someone on the coaching staff. I'm not sure who he's wanting to talk to. Maybe the City. Oh, going to talk to both sets of managers here. Neil Young on the pitch. I'll just take my headphones off while I try and listen in. Not quite sure what's maybe both sets of managers are just being told to keep everything, keep tempers at bay. It all was a bit of a kick-off there, really. Hazelhurst absolutely swung for Hughes, caught him on the cheek, I think, and he's been shown a red card as a result. Hen, if you missed what happened there, basically Irwin got wiped out with a bad tackle. Hughes wasn't happy about it. Hughes had just been involved in a little bit of handbags before with Rule. And Hazelhurst come piling in and just punched Hughes in the face, which sparked a bit of a brawl. And a couple of yellow cards were dished out, but after all that madness, Barragan's got a free kick, which is whipped in towards the back post. And it's missed by everyone, but it wasn't far off going in. And after all that drama, we've got a football match that's going on. So after all that, in case that got lost in the, in case that got lost in all the madness, Jack Hazelhurst, City Liverpool's top goal scorer, 10 league goals this season, including one today, has been shown a red card. So City Liverpool down to 10. It's Ailey looks to bring it forward. Irwin's in there again to win it back. He's having a great game in midfield, Steve Irwin. Just clears it long. Watkinson just piling in there again. Just letting Hinnigan know that he's there. Ailey to take the throw in. Looking down the line for Winard, just gets ahead on it and then clears it further. Riley looks to nod it on for Watkinson. Can Barragan win in there? No, he can't. Rule just plays it back to his goalkeeper. The clearance is collected by Irwin. Now is Riley, about 20 yards from goal, but the ball just bounces up nicely for Hinnigan to head back. Here's Edgar picking up his left back position, the centre midfielder. Looks to launch it into the chest of Qualis. Ball out wide on the far side. Now with Jack Walls. Plays it back for Rule. Into midfield. Irwin takes a tumble. Here's Edgar on the ball. Nice ball out with the outside of his left boot to Ailey. His cross is blocked by Hughes. Shouts of handball, but was never going to be given. And Hughes' clearance down the line is out for a throw-in. And it looks like we're going to see a substitution for City of Liverpool. Lewis McKinney has taken his bib off on the side of the pitch. A few unhappy City fans, but it looks like are they making a change? He's put his bib back on now. I think we're just going to put off making the change. News of a goal at Runcorn Linnets. Workington have taken the lead. So the league leaders will, as it stands, stay on top. It's Watkinson tussling with Ailey. On the ball, he's done really well there, Watkinson. As he always does, he's working so hard up front, putting in a lot of running. And he's won Marina throw-in high up the pitch. Into the final 15 minutes, but I would imagine after that, well, scrap, we'll have at least 4 or 5 minutes added on. Here's Irwin. Wins another throw-in. Oh no, he doesn't. He just ran out of space there and it's gone out of play for a throw-in for the Perps. And now we are going to get the change. So Lewis McKinney is coming on for Michael J. Monaghan. And it looks like, no, I thought Marine were making a change as well, but Irwin's just receiving a few instructions from Neil Young. So it looks like a like-for-like swap for the Perps. Lewis McKinney looks to be joining Qualis in attack. As the long throw is taken up towards Qualis, but cleared by Joe White. And now Watkinson's got a chance. Oh, he can't quite latch onto the ball before it fell through to the goalkeeper. And here's Edgar on the left-hand side now. Looks to play it forward into McKinney. But McKinney can't quite control. It's cleared by Howarth into Lewis Riley. He's got Hughes for support. He plays it in for Hughes. Now back out for Riley. He can get a low ball in. Here's Watkinson with his back to goal. Can he turn and shoot? He's turned. He's shot. He's saved. And it's just bouncing in the 6-yard box. It's cleared a little bit further forward for the Perps. And Irwin looks to control it out for Kenji. Kenji has the ball now on the left wing. Oh, he's beating his man. Can he get a ball into the box? He's into Watkinson. Can he control? He's put behind for a corner by Schofield. And it's going to be James Barragan, scorer of the first goal of the game, to take. But it looks like Marine are going to switch things up a little bit before that corner is taken. Ryan Wignall, who's coming off. Looks like it might be Alex Doyle. As he pulls his socks down, takes off his shin pads. It's his first game back after injury today. He's been struggling with a hamstring problem for the last few weeks. Went off in the match against, I believe it was away at Kendall Town a few weeks ago. Another, well, a good performance to come back to for Alex Doyle. Mr. Consistent in midfield. Have missed him last few weeks. But here comes Ryan Wignall. So maybe Steve Irwin will just drop a little bit deeper in midfield. Irwin had been picking up some number 10 positions. And the corner's taken very quickly into edge of box. Falls for Hughes after Wignall left it. And surely Riley's offside. There's a tame attempt forward, as I think he knew, and the flag was up. So going to be a free kick. 10 minutes to go, plus injury time, of course. So I think we'll have at least 5 minutes. Howarth with another big clearance. He's played a brilliant game in the middle of the back three today, Mark Howarth. It's Ailey down by the corner flag with Riley hustling. And the ball deflects off Riley for a throw-in. Throw-in taken down the line, looking for Koalas. And Ailey's clearance smashes into his own man. Well, Watkinson now looks to try and whip it, well, smash a ball back goalwards. But it's gone behind for a goal kick. The wind picking up once again here in the Van Eupen Arena in Elmsmere Port. If you're just joining us for the final 10 minutes, the score is City Liverpool 1, Marine 2. City of Liverpool, hold on, his ball is with McKinney down the left wing. Looks to get away from Winnard, but Winnard's done brilliantly to win the ball back and cleared by White. And the ball bounces over Riley, but Watkinson has it, and he can play Wignall in down the left-hand side. Wignall can run with the ball. He's got Kenji for support. Wignall looks to get down the left. And the ball, he tries to get a ball into the box. It bounces off Schofield and then off Wignall again, and out for a goal kick. Sorry, if you're just joining us. The score is 2-1 to Marine. James Barragan opened the scoring with a low finish 2 minutes into the second half. But Jack Hazelhurst, City Liverpool's top goal scorer, levelled the scoring with a tidy finish inside the penalty area. However, a few minutes later, Lewis Riley converted a penalty after Lewis Irwin was fouled by James Edgar inside the box. And then City's goal scorer, Jack Hazelhurst, was sent off after appearing to, well, at least scratch or maybe punch Ben Hughes. There's going to be another change for City of Liverpool. Elliot Johnson's going off in place of Zenon Bahula. He's had a good game in midfield, Elliot Johnson. He's looked lively. But he's been replaced with 7 minutes of regulation time to go. And it looks like we're going to get 2 more changes. For the Mariners, Lewis Riley's coming off. And it's going to be the 2 that we expected to come on, really. Riley's gone off for the club captain, Niall Cummins. Also going off is Owen Watkinson. He's putting another good shift up front today. As he always does, he's worked so hard for the team. Made some good runs, held the ball up well. And he's going to be replaced by George Newell. On loan from Southport, of course. He's had his loan extended recently as he continues his comeback from a long-term injury. So Dean Winnard to take a long throw in, barking orders at the two forwards, telling them to move around. Newell looks to poke a ball into the box, but it's met by Walls at the back post, but Kenji can nick it off him. Back to White to play down the line. Looking for either Wignall or Cummins, but he's overhit that one. Just over 5 minutes of regulation time to go for Marine to hold on. Got a numerical advantage as well as a wind advantage. Steve Irwin looks to play the ball out to the left wing, looking for Kenji, can't quite take it down. A throw in to be taken by Walls down the far side. And that's handball against Joe White there. Josh Quarles just flicked it on. And it's just bounced up off the floor onto the hand of Joe White. And it's going to be a free kick and a chance to get men in the box for City of Liverpool. I think it's going to be James Edgar to take. Gave away the penalty earlier on in the half. Can he make amends with a good delivery now? He's drilled one in, looking to catch Dolan off his line, but at 6'5", it's going to be take some effort to lob this keeper. Wasn't even that far off his line, really. Long ball forward, played by Dolan. Schofield's gone down under virtually no contact from Cummins. The keeper plays it back out for Walls. It's not the best one, but he's managed to flick it off of Kenji and out for a throw-in. Walls with a throw-in down the line. Kenji heads it on for Irwin. And Newell will give chase, although there might just be too much on it. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. "86 minutes played now at the Van Eupen Arena. Still 2-1 to Marine. The same scoreline that Marine beat City of Liverpool by earlier on in the season in the reverse fixture. Here's Wignall now on the halfway line. Just chasing his own flick on, really. Plays it back to White. White looks to clear, but it's gone out for a throw-in. Here's Irwin. Spreads it out to Hughes. Hughes has got a bit of open space ahead of him. He's getting away from McKinney. He's head towards the corner flag. Barged off it by McKinney. And Hughes has been penalised there. I'm not quite sure what for. Maybe an arm had been raised against McKinney. But he's had a solid game at right wing back today. Ben Hughes, maybe it's finally found the position for him. Long ball forward, looking for Quarles. It's just maybe an elbow in the back from Howarth. A little bit soft. So it's going to be a free kick on the halfway line for City of Liverpool. Quarles will undoubtedly be the target. Up towards the big centre forward, but it's headed away. I think it's Cummins back on defensive duty. Kenji can't quite catch up to the clearance. A long ball forward from City Liverpool again into Quarles. Looks to play it out for Bahula. Bahula cuts back onto his left foot, or tracks back, does well to beat Barragan. But Barragan's still there with him, as is White, and he does really well to win a free kick over on the touchline on the right-hand side for City of Liverpool. So it's another free kick in a dangerous position for City of Liverpool. It's Edgar with the left foot is going to take it. Under 2 minutes to go until the 90-minute mark. And then it's up to the referee to announce the additional time. But Qualis will once again be the target in the middle. And all pressure is taken off as Dolan gathers. Irwin looks to offer himself as a counter-attack option, but Dolan just chose to hold on to the ball and calm things down so his team can reset up. That's a long ball. It's bounced over the top, and Cummins is there, but it's Oliver Martin that's quickly off his line to gather. And I think the scoreboard is the subs board is going to be shown in a minute to signal the amount of added time that we'll have. Just waiting for confirmation, but I'm hearing it'll be 5 minutes added on, which sounds about right. It's a lengthy stoppage while the referee was sorting out the scrapping earlier on in the match. Earlier on in the half, sorry. As the ball's in midfield, it's bouncing around. It's not quite under control from either side, but here's Hughes with a chance to get down the right wing. It's a good challenge from Zach Ailey. And I think the last touch even came off Hughes, so it's very well played from Ailey in the end. Confirmation from the scoreboard, it is going to be 5 minutes added on. So we're into additional time now. Marine just need to hold on. A long ball forward from Joe White. Can that cause issues? No, it's bounced out of bounds. It's going to be another goal kick. But the Marine fans behind the goal are in absolutely no rush to give the ball back. And that's when it starts to go a bit far. They should be giving the ball back really, and now they have when a new ball has been brought onto the pitch. Bit of time wasting from the Mariners faithful there. Oliver Martin now will get the game back underway. He's got a couple of short options. Ailey maybe on this near side at left back. But it's pretty central. Up towards Qualis again, but Irwin is stood in front of him to win it. Wignall controls it down for Hughes, and it's not a great through ball from Hughes. With a couple of minutes to go, I'll give you my thoughts on today's man of the match, chosen by me. Hold on just a second. As Ailey has the ball deep inside his own half under pressure from Hughes. George New will take it under control. And it's away from Edgar in the end. Long ball looking for Bahula, but it's met in midfield by Rule. But it's cleared in the end by Winard. Back up for McKinney. Here's Edgar. With a long ball forward looking for Bahula, but it's just been held up in the wind again. Here's Howarth. To just play it forward, but Edgar's there. Now he gets it down the line for Bahula. And out of play by Howarth. So my thoughts on the man of the match today. I think Hughes has put in a good shift at right wing back. I think Steve Irwin's done a great job in centre of midfield, won a penalty. But I'm going to have to go for Mark Howarth in the middle of the back three. He's headed everything that's come his way. He's played some decent balls out from the back. There's a long throw in, comes in, headed away by Dean Winard, another one who could have easily been man of the match today. He's had a great game on the right hand side of the back three. But we're not done yet. Big challenge from Hughes, but the last touch comes off Ailey. It's a good challenge from Hughes, another candidate for man of the match. I'm going to go with Mark Howarth. Marine, understandably, in no particular rush to take this throw, and Dean Winard strolls over. was receiving a few instructions from the manager. Neil Young, straight down the line into the chest of George Newell, picked up by McKinney. And McKinney looks to clear, but I think the wind has firmly taken hold of that one. Here's Barragan in midfield now, out for Neil Kenji. Just about gets away from the first challenge. Looks to beat his man for the second time, but good challenge from Rule. And here's Wignall to pick it up though. Barragan. Back for White. Plays the ball down the left wing as he has done so many times this game. Kenji into the feet of Cummins. Looks to curl one into the far corner, but it's pretty comfortable for Martin. 4 minutes played of added time. As Ailey almost loses out there. Cummins, big challenge to win it back. Here's Irwin. Irwin will aim for that corner flag. He's got McKinney for support. McKinney just nicks it off him. He's got Edgar there with him. And Edgar now can clear, but no, he can't because he's closed down by Ben Hughes. So to throw in deep in the City of Liverpool half with 20 seconds of the 5 that have been signalled left to play. Barragan, it's just get it away from our half time. So Barragan comes in again. Newell wins a free kick, and that's a great free kick to win late on in the match. We've now played the 5 additional minutes, but we're signalled. Of course, that's just a minimum. But you would think Marina pretty much over the line now, you would hope. Touch wood. Once again, in very no hurry to take the set piece. It looks like it's going to be Irwin to take. But you would imagine they'd just play it short and aim for the corner. There's no point getting bodies in the box now. All of the back 3 have stayed back. White, Winard and Howarth. Yeah, it's just taken short for Irwin to try and drag into the corner. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's shielding the ball well. And he's even kept hold of it, and it's just ran out of room there. He's gone behind for a goal kick. We've now played 6 minutes of additional time. Shouts from the Marine bench of Wesber Whistlereth. You'd have to think. There it is. Back-to-back wins for Marine. After goals at half-time, with the win behind them in the second half, we took the lead very early on in the second half through James Barragan after a well-worked move that involved Lewis Riley and Steve Irwin. Jack Hazelhurst levelled things up for City of Liverpool later on in the half with a decent finish after turning inside the box. But after Steve Irwin was fouled in the penalty area, Lewis Riley made it 2-1 from the penalty spot. And City of Liverpool's top goal scorer, Jack Hazelhurst, saw red after appearing to strike Ben Hughes late on in the half, which sparked a big scuffle. But the bottom line is Marine have recorded back-to-back victories after a couple of tough results in recent weeks. The result will see them stay in second after wins from Warrington Rylands and Workington. So no change at the top of the league. But full time, it's City of Liverpool 1, Marine 2. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you for the next away match.